Good morning, and good morning, followers. This is Friday, and this is part 2 of our special for sickle cell. And it's September, so I told you guys that, sickle cell month, we're trying to get people to know knowledge, know what's going on. And if I look tired, I apologize, but I don't know. Funny enough, after we left the show yesterday, my son went into crisis, so he's actually sitting in pain, and he's got his heating pad on, he's got Tylenol, his morphine, and all this other stuff. He went through his massages, and we try to keep his mind off of it, but right now he's in some serious pain. So, I don't know, the atmosphere, the whole thing, talking about it, and I asked him, I said, I'm on this show to talk about what you're going through. What do you want people to know? And he says, just tell them about the pain. That's all he keeps saying, is just tell them about the pain. Because yesterday I had my guest, and he called in from the UK, and the way he described it, I was like, is that what my son is going through? He's 32, and he says it feels like someone's stabbing him with a knife, and then after the stabs, someone's pouring hot lava in the wound.
Wow. Yeah.
And I thought that I could feel that. It's the initial pain, and then it's the constant burning afterwards. So I'm thinking, my son is 10, and if that's what he's going through right now, I really got to push. So I'm so happy that I could have you two on. So on a lighter note, I'm not going to be all upset. I'm going to make sure that we get the information out, because that's why you guys are here. So before we start, thanks for coming. All right?
Yeah.
And please introduce yourself. Go ahead.
I'm Judy. I am the president of Camp Jamoke, which is a camp for children with sickle cell disease. So we fundraise all year and send them for 2 weeks each summer to Bracebridge. But more importantly, I'm also the parent of a child with sickle cell disease.
All right. And my partner in crime number 2.
All right. My name is Ulysse Guerrier. I'm an individual living with sickle cell. I'm 41. I have a YouTube channel talking about sickle cell called Our Sickle Life. And I'm also the coordinator of a sickle cell program in Toronto, Scarborough, called Taibu Community Health Center.
All right, so let's backtrack, because yesterday the gentleman, like yourself, was an older gentleman, and he was talking about what he goes through. So let's talk about you, okay? When did you find out you had sickle cell?
Well, I was born with it, but they did the diagnosis when I was 2. And funny enough, I was born in Toronto. My parents from Haiti, and so to make a long story short, my family, my parents had 5 children.
Right.
4 out of the 5 children have sickle cell.
Right.
And 2 out of the 5 died from sickle cell.
Okay.
So my sister that was just before me, she died at a young age. Probably was like 18 months, something like that. And so she died when my mom went to Haiti on vacation and something like that. And so from that point on, when I was born, my mom was always like fearful, like, that something will happen to me.
Right.
But when I was born, I was always like show sign that there's something wrong with me.
Right.
So now she it's like you've been through a traumatic experience. So now your worst fear almost like is becoming reality, but you cannot express to any health providers that there's something wrong with my child. But every time I bring him to the hospital, I started from sick kids.
Right.
They bring me to sick kids. It's nothing. Just give him Tylenol. It's growing pains. It could be like stomach pain, stomach flu. Like they give her all kind of like different reasons why like I'm feeling like I was like a very like crying baby. Like I cry all the time.
Right.
I can't sleep. So she could like she
knows
mind,
she's a mom, so she knows something
was wrong, but
right.
she couldn't figure out what it was. So during the summer, like of 78, my mom went to Haiti, and then I got a crisis while I was there.
Okay.
So she brought me to a doctor, and the doctor said like have they done any tests to find out if he has sickle cell? And my mom said, I don't think so. I don't know. So they did the test while I was in Haiti, and it came out that I was positive that I had sickle cell. I had sickle beta thalassemia, so which means my dad has sickle cell trait, my mom has sickle beta thalassemia trait, and together combined give me sickle beta thalassemia.
Okay.
So, and then after that, my parents continue having children, and every children they have after me has, but basically like my sister that came before me
Right.
had sickle cell. They didn't know I had sickle cell. My brother that passed away had sickle cell, and I have a younger sister that has sickle cell. The only person in my family that don't have sickle cell, she only have the trait, is the eldest, my older sister.
Right.
She only carried the trait.
Because let me just step back for a second. The reason I asked you, because back then, and I'm not saying you're old,
Yeah.
but I'm saying back at then,
Yep.
they didn't know.
Nope.
And even parents didn't know. So then people are like, well, why they're having kids? Because they think, well, it's just one.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know what's happening, that every time it's a 1 in 4 or whatever.
But that's the thing. It's like it's 1 in 4 chance out of every pregnancy.
Right.
But in their mind, in the way they were explained, it's like 1 in 4 chance.
children.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, so I got this one, so it's 1 in 4 chance. So I got this one, so this one's out of the way.
Yeah,
So
I can
get
have
another
my
one.
no
Yeah.
4
I can have
chances.
another one.
Exactly.
So, and then that's when, well, they finally realize like it's like throwing dice, right?
Yeah.
If you play, I don't know how you guys call whatever games you play dice, and you can roll 7 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can throw the dice like 4 times,
Right.
and you can hit 4 times 7.
Right.
And you can throw the dice 4 times, and you only hit 7 once.
Right.
So it's just like the luck of the draw.
It's a luck of the draw
Yeah.
because my son has sickle cell,
Yeah.
but my daughter doesn't. But obviously she's gonna have the traits,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it's what people are thinking. Well, so many families have it because back then they weren't taught properly.
Yeah.
We didn't know properly.
Yeah.
So a lot of families like yours will have more than one that have it,
Yeah.
and then it's all different levels.
Exactly.
So it's not all of them will have the SC. Someone will have SC, SS. And it's all
yes,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
place,
yes.
and that's the trait. Going to you now, as a mother, how did you find out?
I found out because in 2006 they added sickle cell disease to the newborn screening program.
Right.
I actually did focus groups and participated. I was pregnant at the time, talking about whatever sickle cell and what I think, what I know.
Yeah.
And then when I had my son the following April, he was tested through that program, and in August I received a call from Sick Kids letting me know, from Dr. Odami. Amazing doctor, letting me know that Kamal had sickle cell disease,
Right.
and I need to come down and see him. And
Right, and that's
Go
the
through
thing.
the-
I call it the call.
the call, exactly.
The
It
call.
was the call.
Right.
And he was actually in my hand at that moment,
Yeah.
and thankfully my mother was sitting beside me.
Yeah.
I had to give him to her because he might have fallen out of my hand,
Yeah.
because I didn't really expect it.
You're not thinking
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Because so just let people know when she's talking about the test. So moving forward from 2006, 2007, every baby that is born, when they get pricked on their toe, sickle cell has been added to the form. So
And
now
there's
every
20 or 30 tests that they're generally
Right.
screening for. So
Right.
now this is
part of it. So now that's how we're knowing now moving forward that certain kids are coming with sickle cell,
Yeah.
because with us, same thing. They gave the call to Des at home, and then Des calls me crying because we don't know. We're like, what is this? You get a call from Sick Kids about your child. You know something's not.
You need to
not
come
right.
down
You
here
gotta
and
come
meet with
down.
us, and we're going to explain to you all,
Yeah, exactly.
So you're expecting the worst, but without knowing what it is.
What it is,
Yeah.
because at that time we didn't know the levels, right?
Yeah.
So
What I knew from my own experience was, I have three adult friends with
Yeah.
sickle cell disease, so
Right.
I had been experiencing with them their crises, their different challenges. So I knew that,
yeah.
and immediately you think the worst because
Exactly.
of what you do know, but what you don't know actually is a little bit more empowering to know that there are ways that you can kind of
You can help
deal with
out,
this.
do with
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
whatever, right? Because there's a lot of symptoms. Like, okay, so let's talk about what can stem up off of a sickle cell crisis. So what I mean by that is
The
one,
complications?
the complications. We know right now some kids with sickle cell, their eyes, okay, their eyes will go. Okay, they get nearsighted, farsighted. They can't see. They get jaundice, and they get all this stuff. What else?
Well, okay. Basically, what people need to understand is like sickle cell is a red blood cell disorder. So what it means is like your red blood cell is not shaped the normal shape. Like a normal shape would be like imagine like a donut, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Something like a donut without the hole, right? Can you imagine that? And then this is a normal red cell, and an abnormal red cell look like a crescent or a banana.
Right.
So if you look at, like, the blood flow, when the sickle cell goes to the vessel and it blocks, there's no oxygen going to that region. That's what creates the pain.
Yes.
But beyond the pain, there's organ failure, organ damage, there's blood clots, there's blockage, period. So imagine if you have, unfortunately, that's how my brother passed. If you have a blockage in your brain,
Right.
they call it's a stroke.
Yeah.
So my brother passed of a silent stroke due to sickle cell. You can have, like, when they send you to do regular eye tests, is to see in the back of your eyes if the blood vessel, because the blood vessel in the back of your eyes are really tiny.
Right.
And if you get sickle cells going there, so it creates a blockage, then you could become blind, or you could have other different type of, like, eye issues.
Right.
It could be the same thing, like, basically everywhere you have blood circulating in your body.
Yeah, let's just,
it could be affected.
let's just say it straight.
Yeah.
But because most
It
of
could
it,
be
like, a
affected.
lot of our kids now are spleen and kidneys,
Yeah.
right? I know a lot of them have, like, the hand joints, because after a while you keep getting crisis and you don't get no feeling. A lot of them with the hands, their feet.
Leg ulcers.
They have ulcers. It's a lot of problems. So by saying this, is we just want people to know that it's not just one thing.
Yeah.
It can stem off to many other things
Yeah, the
moving
blood flows.
forward, and people need to understand, like, when you see someone in pain. And then the funny thing is, the reason I'm asking you your questions, people see the kids, but they don't see the adults.
Yes.
The adults, they're quietly going to the hospital by themselves, and they do what they got to do, and they come back out. They see the pain, the kids screaming and stuff, but it affects
The entire family.
the whole family,
Yes.
top the husband.
If everybody's around that person that actually suffer from sickle cell, it
Right.
affects you. So what I would say, it's like there's different levels to it, right? Number one, like, when you're looking at the kids, everybody has children, like, it affects you directly to your heart. So you don't want to see your kids in pain,
Right.
But beyond the pain, what we want people to understand and to know is that that individual is a human being. So the pain is hard, is bad. And I think the best image I can give people, for whatever reason people connect to this, and I don't understand why, but it's like, if thinking about somebody, I know most people in general know somebody that had like a cancer diagnosis.
Right.
And most people that I know, or people in general, have lost somebody to the battle of cancer. And for whatever reason, they understand the pain that somebody going to terminal phase of cancer goes through.
Right.
I don't know why. I can't explain it, but for whatever reason, they understand it.
Right.
I think one of the reasons is because the images of people of suffering from cancer is all over the media,
Right.
and people suffering from sickle cell are not on the media. So
Right.
that could be one aspect. But people suffering from cancer and are in terminal phase, they suffer tremendous amount of pain. And can you imagine, doctors will say that people with sickle cell, their pain is 10 times worse.
Yes.
So
On a regular basis.
but
Yeah.
think about the dichotomy in this thing. People with sickle cell will have pain that 10 times worse than somebody in terminal phase of cancer. But you have issues giving them something for their pain.
Right.
Somebody that suffer from cancer, they're gonna give them something for pain. The logic they give behind it,
It's they're trying to the saying of one person looks and one person doesn't have the look. So I could be right now in some tremendous pain right now,
Yeah.
but because I'm not looking different or feeling different towards out there, people don't understand. And then we're going to continue that after this break, but I want people to understand that the disease from what sickle cell, cancer, they're all big diseases. We're not diminishing one against the other, but what we're saying is that we trying to get more awareness of
Raise
sickle
the
cell,
awareness about
because that's
sickle
what people need to understand.
Yeah.
Heart disease, stroke, all those other ones is out there, but this is what they call, and someone said it to me, is the silent killer.
yeah.
Because people don't understand what's going on, and they don't understand that 1 minute, oh, I saw them last week, and then all it takes is a
One
few
crisis.
seconds, one crisis, you're in the hospital,
And you're done.
and knock on wood, anything can happen. All right? We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, but you're going to see a commercial about a relief fund. Please pay close attention and, support. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Grant here from Carib 101 Media Group, and this is an outreach video going out to everybody with a request for assistance on your part. As you guys know, there's a lot of devastation that happened in the islands because of Hurricane Irma. There are families that are hugely displaced. Some islands are over 95% inhabitable, and people are reaching out to us, asking us where they can either give products or aid or finances, and at the time we didn't know where to go.
So in order to aid in relief efforts, Carib 101 Media Group has started up a GoFundMe page where the community can now go and help submit donations in order to help rebuild the infrastructure that's been damaged due to Hurricane Irma. So, you know, going to the page, donating like at least $5, $10, even $50 isn't very much, but it will help, you know, our Caribbean brothers, sisters, families, friends in helping rebuild their homes.
There's also a call for certain donation items as well, which are personal hygiene products they're looking for. They're requesting things like baby diapers, baby food, clothing, things like toiletry, personal hygiene products, garbage bags, disinfectants, so that they can help with the cleanup. So at our office at 55 Rutherford Road South, Unit 205 in Brampton, we are set up to receive your donations there. So instead, you know, if you'd like to donate some items versus donating money, please come on over to the office here in Brampton. We'd be more than happy to accept your donations. We will be getting it together in about 2 weeks, and I believe the date would be September 21st that we'd like to turn the items over to the Consulate General Office for Antigua, where they'll be shipping it down to Barbuda for distribution there.
Now keep in mind too that as much as it's nice to give toiletry products and stuff like this, they also have to try and get it down there. But a lot of these islands have been so hugely devastated that they need money to rebuild and get supplies and stuff like that. So we're kindly asking that if you can please, if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, please donate, because that's what they need the most. They need to start rebuilding their infrastructure, rebuilding homes, and creating shelters for these people that are displaced. So again, if you can help, we greatly appreciate it. It's perfect here where we are right now, and we can only imagine what families are going through, not having homes, losing all their possessions, and literally not having anything that they know as home around them.
Hey guys, we're back, and you were like, we're missing one guy, but you know, this is live stream. We do things live. No, there was some important information that he wanted to get out, and then someone was calling him, and he wanted to go get it. So he's gonna go get that for us because we want all the information out there. Okay. Mm-hmm. So since he's out there, let's start with you first. Okay, Camp Jamoke. Explain about Camp Jamoke.
So Camp Jamoke has been around since 1994. It was started kind of to address the needs of children in Toronto with sickle cell disease. We raise funds to send children to camp. So each year they go for 2 weeks. My son goes, your son goes. They go for 2 weeks to Bracebridge. And they participate in the outdoor education program offered by Camp Winona. Okay. We fundraise and pay 100% of the tuition that is charged for the children to go. They are supported by medical staff.
Hold on, Slayer. We fundraise, okay? Just want to make sure you understand that. Fundraise. So when we tell you, come on now, we fundraise. All right, go back.
Fundraise, 100%. We have no government funding.
That's the thing, right.
We have not really any corporate funding.
No.
And it costs approximately $2,200 per child.
One child.
Per child for 2 weeks.
That's right.
So the fundraising is a huge task. And it's done by myself and, other members of the Camp Jamoke board. Right. And it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work. I won't lie. Because you MC many of our events. Thank you.
Yes.
And so this is our next fundraising. Right. We joined the Scotiabank Charity Challenge. So This year we're walking. This is our second year, and we're trying to raise $15,000. That money will go towards sending children to camp in summer of 2018. That's what
Right.
we're fundraising for at the moment.
Okay, and this is happening Sunday, October 22nd.
Yes.
And join us for our 23rd annual walk. We're joining Scotiabank. Thank you, Scotiabank,
Yeah.
for having us jump on with this one. It's a great cause with a lot of people that walk out. It's a 5K walk or run.
Or run.
So you know how
I
we
walk. Right? Yep.
We
I
walking.
And I wanted just to kind of put something into perspective. We used to do it at Nathan Phillips Square. We'd spend money, to host the event, get entertainment, everything else. Last year we switched to this format.
Right.
The savings that we realized from the switch tremendous, approximately $6,000.
Right.
Which means, roughly 3 more children get to go to
Just
camp,
went to
right?
camp, right.
So that's just to show, the importance or the great move it was to move to the Charity Challenge.
All right, and this is happening at 8 a.m. Ontario Place grounds, close to Ontario Street. So make sure you get there. And you can go to cjwalk@jamoki.org or give them a call, 416-410-2995. That's 416-410-2995.
We want you to walk. We want you to fundraise. We want you to tell somebody. We want you to do whatever. We just need to meet this goal to be able to send these children to camp in 2018.
All right, and then we have another one. We do a dinner and dance happening Saturday, November 25th.
Yes.
All right, and this is our annual dinner and dance, and we have great hosts. We have speakers, keynote speakers, and entertainment. And tickets are $75 per person.
Yes.
And of course, that just goes to the meal, and the rest of the funds we raise goes to the
scholarship. So each year we give a scholarship to one child of $2,000. That is for post-secondary expenses. And they become our child ambassador for the year that follows. They represent Camp Jamoke at different events, speak on our behalf, talk on their own behalf, talk about why they enjoy camp, why they wanted to be the ambassador, and just generally help raise awareness about camp. So the funds that we're trying to raise through this will help support the scholarship program. And just a note, also, we're selling advertising space. We're looking for people to advertise in the dinner program, $200 for a full page.
Right.
That money also will go directly into the scholarship fund.
All right, so people are looking right now thinking, why is it so expensive to send a kid to camp? They're like, what's up with that? Well, we can tell you right now. Camp Jamoke, because all of our kids are sickle cell kids, or sicklers, it's not, we need to have staff. And when I mean staff, these are trained medical nurses and doctors on site. And the reason is that because at any time, any of our kids could have a pain crisis.
Yes.
And camp is 2-hour drive away?
Yes.
So getting ambulance or getting people up there is difficult. So what we do is we get trained nurses and doctors to be up there so they can administer medicine.
Yes.
Take care of the kids while they're up there trying to enjoy themselves for 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right? And then it amazes me when these kids come back how much they've changed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our kids don't get to do certain things. Okay? So, like, for example, I'll use my son as always an example. We want him to learn how to swim. But we had to find a pool that was heated. So we have to drive all around the city trying to find a heated pool. During the school year, he can't go out for recess. During the wintertime, it's too cold. So he's locked up during the winter months in school and he can't do certain things. So a camp like this gives our kids a phenomenal chance to get out, express themselves, and be a regular kid for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They go canoeing, they go hiking, they build stuff, they meet other friends, and they meet other friends from around the world because the camp is open to everybody.
Yes.
So this is just something that we always look for. So make sure you sponsor and come out to a couple of our events. All right? Now you have an organization as well, so let's talk about that.
Well, I work for a community health center located in Scarborough, Malvern area, and we have a sickle cell program. What does that mean is that we provide primary healthcare services for people that have sickle cell, and we also provide support for individuals that have sickle cell and their families. So let's say somebody don't know their status and they'd like to know what their status is. They can come to Taibu, get the test to find out if they have sickle cell free of charge. And I could say all of our programs are free.
Okay, so give them an address or phone number where they can get up to Taibu.
Taibu is located at 27 Tapscott Road, Unit 1, Scarborough. And the phone number you can reach us is 416-644-3539, extension 226. And it's in by Malvern Mall, like Nielsen and Shepherd area.
Right. So here's the one thing, and we got 5 minutes before we go to our next break. So I just want to get the points out real quick. What is the top three you want people to know about sickle cell? The awareness that people always come up to you and go, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, if we can get it out there, what is the top three you would say?
I have more than 3.
Well, you know that, but we gotta go, man.
So,
You have
5 minutes?
4 minutes.
All right, 4
Okay.
minutes. Number 1,
Yeah.
pain control.
Okay.
We are not drug seekers.
Okay.
So if you can drive that to somebody, like help professionals in general,
Right.
they have issues giving us, the pain control that we need because they don't fully understand the disease.
Right.
But look at it that way. Imagine if I was a 12-year-old and I'm coming to the hospital and I'm asking you for pain meds.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you exactly what kind of pain meds that I need because I know my body. I've been going through this since I was 2.
Right.
So as a doctor, you're looking at me, how 12-year-old
know?
know, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need 12 milligrams of morphine, you need this, you need that.
Right.
So automatically they assume something is wrong with you, right?
Right.
So let's flip it the other way. If I really was a drug addict,
Mm-hmm.
would I go to all the trouble to go to the hospital, get questioned, get rejected, stay over a couple of hours to get the medication that I need where I can get it off the street?
Right.
Okay, so
you're
now
you're going through the proper channels because this is what you have, and you want to make sure that it's on record so they know that you came in today, you got morphine or whatever you need because you're having a pain crisis.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just running to Joe Blow on the street when you want it on record. So if anybody says, yes, I
no,
came in here.
it's beyond that. It's the fact that you have a legitimate disease
Right.
or illness or disorder, however people want to call it, that require you to get pain medication. And there's other illnesses that require pain medication. They don't go through all the struggle that we go through, all the
get
hopes
pain
that we
meds.
have to go through.
Right.
There's a
And-
lot of stigma with sickle cell. Obviously, there's racism with sickle cell. Systemic racism, etc. We don't need to go all of that. But I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, we want you to understand that we need pain control. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, we need people to listen to us because we know our body better.
Okay.
We know our body. We are like specialists of our body.
Right.
Your son right there told you exactly how he feels, what was the amount of pain, etc., etc. He actually tell you what to do.
Right. He knows.
Right.
We have the chart. We have a book that we write in every time.
Yeah.
What time we gave the medicine. What time we gave the heating pad. What time the thing. So we write down everything. We have our control. We know.
He's
You
managing
have to
his
be
own,
able
his
to
own
advocate
life, his
for
own
yourself.
pain. He's managing
Right.
his illness the
Right.
best way he can, right?
Right.
So when he comes to the hospital, like, that means I need more help
Right.
because I've been doing everything I could do by myself,
and
and now I
do
can't
it.
do it no more.
So I need your help now.
Exactly, right? So that's what we want people to understand.
Okay.
And the part 3 I'll give you is that, at the end of the day, sickle cell could be deadly.
Oh yeah.
So just this year, five friends that I know passed away from sickle cell, and the last one like 3 weeks ago. 35-year-old, young gentleman. He was fine. Like, when I say he was fine, like, it looks fine. Like, the same way I looks fine.
Yeah.
You see me today, I'm fine, and then tomorrow you hear me, I'm dead. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
What happened?
You know
What
I mean?
happened, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shock because, like, I call it the invisible disease because everything that happens to us, it's inside.
Yeah.
It's internal.
And
it's
we
a
don't know
blood.
what- we don't know what's going
You
on.
cannot know what's going on.
Right.
If I'm telling you right now, like, to come in this morning, it took me like a lot because, like, I'm in tremendous pain.
Mm-hmm.
You will be able to tell that, like,
Right.
because I don't show it, like, I don't have physical things that make people think, like,
You can't see
you're in pain.
pain.
Yeah. Exactly.
So-
You can't
and
see
then
pain.
just on that note, Google it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know on your page we had the beauty pageant winner.
Yeah.
All of a sudden she's fine. She's doing her beauty pageant thing, and then she passed away. We had our one of the famous rappers. Okay, he's
Prodigy.
Yep, he's fine. He's doing all this thing, doing concert, and then
He just came off of a concert and he started feeling pain.
Yeah.
And he went to the hospital. 3 days later, it's gone.
that's it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
I know, and there's a lot of athletes out there that actually tell you. One of I love watching her because she's always doing posts from TLC.
Yeah.
Right. She's always doing posts telling you she just came off off stage, but she's running inside because it was raining. So now she's got to do A, B, C, D, and E because it was
to
raining.
avoid going into crisis.
So she doesn't have pain and what she's doing. So people need to understand, just because you see them on stage and everything was hunky-dory, you don't know what she's doing behind stage, right? So that's another thing. As a mom, what do you want people to know when they see your child and they're doing stuff?
I think, often I hear the same reaction. Oh, he looks fine, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can't see pain. I have often seen him doubled over on the floor because of pain. So when that child comes to you and says, I'm in pain and I need something, listen, stop and listen.
Right.
Because most of them, they try to manage it as long as they can without saying anything before they're coming to you. So just listen to the child for a moment. And this is to the schools. You know what I mean? Because this recess thing, for example, we have this issue at my son's school as well. And we manage it based on temperature. If it's X amount of degrees outside, please don't send him outside. But this took a couple of years to get going at this school. So I just want people to understand that they have a need, and we're trying to manage the need as best we can within what we have to work with.
It's a group effort. Put it this way: we know sometimes, for example, a child will come to school and on the weekend they broke their leg. Okay, it's raining outside, and you keep the child in because he's got a cast on. Okay, let's flip the script. He just has a cast on, and you don't want to send him outside. We have a child with sickle cell. And it's raining, and he goes, oh, he's fine, and you're trying to push them outside. Okay? The difference
you know what
is,
that rain can do to that child.
in 20 minutes, the rain can put him in an instant sickle cell crisis, instant coma, instant whatever, depending on what level he's at. But you're okay holding a child in wearing a cast because you don't want the cast to get wet. And you're like, oh, don't worry. But a child that has a chronic disease... You're saying, oh, it's
take
okay.
that risk.
It's only spitting. You can go outside. And this is the knowledge that we're trying to tell everybody. I have to praise my son's school. I'm not going to tell you the school's name. I don't want you going down there. But they've worked with us. We've actually gone into the schools and talked to the teachers and the principals, and they've been fantastic. We sat down with them and said, this is what he has. This is how you look for the signs. These are the things. And, we've had teachers that call us and said, we keep telling him to drink his water. Like, they're on him because there's that level. We have a new...
and they actually care.
And they care because we have people... And it's not only that. The teacher last year, and I praise the teacher, and I'm not saying any names, but the teacher actually asked my son, would you like to explain to the class what you have and why... you miss classes so often sometimes and you're in and out. She gave him that opportunity. And I think mainly we're not looking for handouts.
Nope.
We're looking for the opportunity to let people know this is what's
going on.
At 41, can I tell you what's going on? This is what I have as a parent. Can I tell you what's going on? This is what we're looking for. Right? Listen, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back. And it is... part 2 of information about sickle cell and what you can do to help us. And we're going to give you some more information right after how you can jump on board with us. You can, go to your YouTube channel, come support with us. We'll be right back.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hey guys, and if you see, we keep doing musical chairs, and we just laughed about it, but it's serious.
It's real life.
Okay, so she just got a call from her child's school, and when we get those calls, we don't know what's happening. If there's a crisis happening or there's pain or something, so we jump up and we got to run. So, you know, she got a call, so we're gonna wait till she gets back. But since you're here, let's talk man to man. How can people get involved? How can they get more awareness out there? You have a YouTube channel that you go around and you explain anything, but how can people get involved?
Well, I got a GoFundMe page. It's called, you go on GoFundMe /Our Sickle Life, and you can donate to the cause so that I can create more content to bring people out there, bring more awareness to the people out there. That's number one. Number two, I want people to, if each person that's watching this show can tell, let's say 3 people, 5 people, however you could do, share the information. Let people know what people with sickle cell goes through. Get informed, Google it, try to look at, in my channel, I actually show you, the vaccine stuff, when I'm in the hospital, what's going on, in my daily life, all those things. So it's you get to see, the struggle at work, the struggle, with relationship. It's one of the issue that's really important, and I think people need to understand is that, when people have disability, visible disability, the one thing that they will say that, I have a disability, but I'm still a human being.
Right.
I'm still able to do certain things. I might not be able to walk, but I can wheel my chair and go do whatever I need to do.
Right.
I could be on a computer, do certain things, whatever it is, right? For people with sickle cell, it's the same thing.
So hold on, let me stop you right there, because you're making a point. And so I'm going to ask you straight, because you're on CMJ Live and everybody knows I asked the point straight.
Go ahead.
So do you want them to treat you differently?
I don't want them to treat me differently. Okay, I'm going to put it that way. I want people to empathize with what I go through.
Right.
I want you to respect me as a human being, even though I'm going through challenges. That's all I need.
Okay.
As long as you have that understanding.
Yes.
It's not that, even if you treat me differently because you understand and because you care,
right,
it's coming from a good place, that's fine.
Right.
But if you're doing it because of you pity me or oh poor thing or whatever, that it has a different connotation, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
But if you can understand, respect, empathize, I'm all for it.
Right, because the reason I asked you that question, I put my son in some sports and at school, and then they're always asking, oh, so he can't do certain sports? I'm like, no. He's a boy. Let him do the stuff. Let him play. Let him do that. Just understand that when you're subbing somebody, sub him out. You know what I mean? Give him that little break and let someone else run, and then put him back in. Don't miss his turn. He's a boy. He wants to play. Put him back in, right?
I have the same thing with my son.
Yeah.
Because he wants to try every
managed,
sport.
Though.
Yeah, we manage it. I let them know this is how he has to manage himself when he's playing sports. Lots of water, rest as needed.
Right.
Sub him in as needed, sub him out. But let him play because he wants to play.
He's a boy. He wants to be. So it goes from boys and girls.
He tried out for football yesterday. Made the team.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so the coach will just know now, okay, instead of 12 plays, I'll give him 7 plays.
Let him rest.
Throw him back in.
Exactly.
There it is.
He just wants to do
this is the awareness that back then we didn't have. Back then they used to tell our parents that we cannot do physical activity, period. And that was wrong because the body needs to be active.
Yes.
Regardless, you feel pain or whatever.
Yeah.
The body needs to be active.
When you're exercising, feeling
with moderation.
good. Exactly. Right.
With moderation, with hydration, a lot of hydration. So it's if your son is doing sports, if a regular person that's doing sport drinks, let's say, 2 glasses of water,
right,
he needs to drink 6.
Right. And that's per quarter.
You see what I'm
saying? If it's basketball, listen to it. If it's basketball, giving you understand, it's 4 per quarter. Okay, get it in him. Get it. I keep saying him because it's my son and daughter, but get it in your child. Period. They just need to know that. Okay, so when they go on trips, it's the same thing.
Lots of water.
You know what I mean? We go on trips, so you understand that. It's funny because you'll see us wearing. Some people are just wearing T-shirts, but then you have long sleeve on, and you're like, "Why are you wearing long sleeve? It's hot out. It's blah blah." It's not that it's hot. We know the temperature change. So at any time the temperature can change, can affect you.
Exactly.
So yes, I'm gonna go camping with you. Yes, I'll go on the hike with you. but I'm gonna look a little different. I'm gonna be dressed a little heavier or whatever the case may be. So
That's a good point.
Layers.
it's just looking at us to say, listen, we can do what you can do. We can go to work. Some days, you know, you might see me slow down at work, but I'm still coming into work. But understand, if you don't see me pumping out like regular, I might be going through something, right?
There's another thing too. It's like when we talk about accommodation, I think, you know, there's no advocacy on that level for us, like, you know, on a national level, on a you know, North American level, to say, like, you know, for people with sickle cell, like, you know, we need to accommodate them this way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's say from somebody that has cancer, diabetes, whatever disease, they have some kind of accommodation when they go to work. For us, it's like you kind of have to sit down and think about how people can accommodate you. But when you come up with the accommodation that you need, a lot of the time they don't want to do it because it kind of disrupt their flow.
Right.
And I'll give you an example. That's for me.
Right.
I have a lot of difficulty getting up in the morning.
Yes.
The morning is the worst thing. It's and it's for most sicklers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can also call them warriors because, you know, we want to be that badge of honor because we survived. Like, I'm 41 years old.
Right.
Like, I was supposed. They told my parents
yes,
that I
know.
would not be here.
Yeah.
From the time that I was
20,
2.
20, 20,
It was
19?
from 2 to 10 to 18
yes.
to 20.
Yeah.
Like, my last one was 30.
Okay.
Right? So I made all those things. I'm still here. So the accommodation has to be done, but it has to fit the individual.
Right.
So for me, like, I have a lot of difficulty getting up in the morning, and a lot of sickle cell warriors have difficulty getting up in the morning. So I cannot go in and clock in at 9 o'clock. I can clock in at 1. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you 8 hours from 1 o'clock.
You know,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So it's like, I used to do, like, you know, evening shift. Like, it wasn't good for me in the long run, but like, I used to do, like, you know, 4 to 12. You know, I used to do midnight to 7. Like, you know, I used to do all kind of shift to find out which one is better for me, that I you know,
Your
I feel
body's
better,
your body's
you know what I
up.
mean?
Yeah.
And until I realized, like, you know, I have to be, like, right in the middle. Like, you know, it's like, let's say from 3 to 11, like, you know, 1 to 9, like, you know,
That's
in the middle of the day.
That's your body getting up,
That's
ready to
when
go.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But, like, if you early in the morning, I can do it. Late at night, I can, but it's not good for me because I need sleep.
Right.
So it's like I can do it because I'm a night owl. You call it?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But it's not good for your body. So you need to have time
and
to
and
sleep.
it's funny enough that you brought that up because I mentioned that yesterday. I was telling everybody when I try to wake up my son, it's like you wake him up, you go downstairs, make breakfast, come up, he's laid out. You wake him up again, he gets out. Yeah, okay, boom, laid out again. Because the body is trying to circulate that blood, get the oxygen in, and it's like starting a lawnmower.
Yeah.
You pull it, you hear click, click,
That's a
click,
good
click.
word.
You pull it again, you hear click, 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 click. And you think, oh, it's going to start? No. So what do you got to do? You got to prime it, get some more in there, and then rip it again. And hopefully it gets going. That's my son. You know, you got to do the first one.
That's actually a perfect analogy. It's a perfect analogy.
So people need to understand that each person is a little different on that aspect. But I'm glad we touched on certain things on their awareness, okay? But here's what I want to touch on real quick. Hospital visits, okay? Just let people know about the hospital visits. So it's getting better, don't get me wrong, because when we first started to now, it was like, wow, okay? People need to understand is that when we get to the hospital, we're not looking for special treatment. What we're looking for is the knowledge and understand. So I remember back in the days, we brought our son to the hospital because he had a fever. Now, a regular fever for a regular child is detriment to a child with sickle cell. Okay, so when you go to the hospital and I said to the doctor, "Oh, he's got a fever." Okay, and he's feeling pain. Okay, they tested him and everything. He's like, "Oh, give him." I go, and he has sickle cell. They're like, "Okay." They tested everything. Okay, give him Tylenol and go home. I go, wait a minute. You're not supposed to give a child with sickle cell Tylenol when they have a fever because it can mask it, and there's some other things bubbling in the back.
You gotta check it. And see
He didn't know that. So he went 20 minutes, and I think he went and Googled it or something, and then he came back and he said, okay, so we're going to keep you in for a while and think. But that was back then. Now it's getting better. But the thing is, it's not to that point yet. Because a lot of times, I'm trying to tell him he needs the fluids in him. He needs it in fast. I don't want to take a bed. I don't want to do anything. Stick him, and I'll sit in the waiting room with the IV bag going. You know what I mean? I just want to know that certain things are happening. What do you see as an adult when you go to the hospital?
Number one thing, I think it's the fact that we don't have enough funding into sickle cell research.
Hold on, stop there. I cutting you off. I saw a post of yours, and it says that they teach nurses about sickle cell
8 hours, 8 hours for the entire,
for that course.
Yeah, for the
So
entire
we're
curriculum.
going to teach you about sickle cell, how to treat it, and what happens. And it's an 8-hour course. Move on to the next one.
Right?
Okay.
So, okay, think about this, right? You're a nurse or a doctor, so the doctor, will be more than 8 hours, but it's still not enough, right?
Right.
So let's say the doctor get 36 hours out of his entire curriculum. So if that doctor graduated from med school, in his practice, he only saw one sickle cell patient.
Right.
By the time that he get to see another sickle cell patient might be 3 years from now. Do you think whatever he learned in school is still retained 3 years from now? Right.
No.
So, number one, the education is not up to point.
Okay.
Right? That's number one. Number two, we're getting there. We're teaching nurses. We have more collaboration between the different organizations to teach nurses so that they get better at what they do. That's a great thing. But at the same time, it's still the same issue, is money. Because if there's no money into something, people don't really, for lack of better words, aware or care about this situation.
Right.
When you look at commercial for sick kids or Princess Margaret, Mount Sinai, whatever, for cancer programs, etc., you see publicity on TV. You see they soliciting you to give money to those programs. When you see a run for we're having a run for sickle cell here, and this is what it's all about. It's to raise funds so that we can actually do something tangible.
Right.
But when people don't want to donate money, or they don't necessarily have all the information for them to be able to make a decision, that's what creates the problem. So in the hospital, to answer your question, in the hospital, the issue is they don't have enough knowledge about the illness. And that sometimes you get a nurse that understands it, treat you well. You get a doctor that understands it, treat you well. And you get one that don't get it and don't want to, they'll start you on 2 milligrams of morphine. Your son probably is on more than 2 milligrams of morphine. I'm 41.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 2 milligrams of morphine? What are they going to do for me?
Right.
It's like Smarties, you know what I mean? Seriously. So those are the type of things that people need to be able to understand.
Listen, we'll be right back. But look at the hashtags. Look at the screen. We are showing you a GoFundMe page for relief fund for the victims of the hurricanes and the floods and everything. It is GoFundMe.com/Carib101. You'll see the commercials. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Grant here from Carib 101 Media Group, and this is an outreach video going out to everybody with a request for assistance on your part. As you guys know, there's a lot of devastation that happened in the islands because of Hurricane Irma. There are families that are hugely displaced. Some islands are over 95% inhabitable, and people are reaching out to us, asking us where they can either give products or aid or finances, and at the time we didn't know where to go.
So in order to aid in relief efforts, Carib 101 Media Group has started up a GoFundMe page where the community can now go and help submit donations in order to help rebuild the infrastructure that's been damaged due to Hurricane Irma. So, going to the page, donating at least $5, $10, even $50 isn't very much, but it will help, our Caribbean brothers, sisters, families, friends in helping rebuild their homes.
There's also a call for certain donation items as well, which are personal hygiene products they're looking for. They're requesting things like baby diapers, baby food, clothing, things like toiletry, personal hygiene products, garbage bags, disinfectants, so that they can help with the cleanup. So at our office at 55 Rutherford Road South, Unit 205 in Brampton, we are set up to receive your donations there. So instead, if you'd like to donate some items versus donating money, please come on over to the office here in Brampton. We'd be more than happy to accept your donations. We will be getting it together in about 2 weeks, and I believe the date would be September 21st that we'd like to turn the items over to the Consulate General Office for Antigua, where they'll be shipping it down to Barbuda for distribution there.
Now, keep in mind too that as much as it's nice to give toiletry products and stuff like this, they also have to try and get it down there. But a lot of these islands have been so hugely devastated that they need money to rebuild and get supplies and stuff like that. So we're kindly asking that if you can please, if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, please donate, because that's what they need the most. They need to start rebuilding their infrastructure, rebuilding homes, and creating shelters for these people that are displaced. So again, if you can help, we greatly appreciate it. It's perfect here where we are right now, and we can only imagine what families are going through, not having homes, losing all their possessions, and literally not having anything that they know as home around them.
Sickle Cell Special Part 2. Yes, it is September, and we just want to know awareness. So before we go on, you have an AGM happening September 23rd. And
Yes.
how many people? What do we need? Tell them real quick.
We are looking for volunteers at large. We just need volunteers to be able to call on for different events. We're also looking for people with specialized skills. We need somebody. Do you know grant writing? We need a fundraiser. We need events, people to help plan events. And we also need medical staff. If there's anyone, with an interest in hematology who wants to help out at camp next year, provide a couple of days of coverage, or, we volunteers. We need volunteers.
416-410-2995.
Yes.
Real quick, do you have anything else?
I wanted to talk about the Day of Action.
Okay.
This last June, like June 19 is World Sickle Cell Day.
Okay.
And we did like a prelude to June 19.
Right.
So we had two events. We had a June 3rd, which was like a Day of Action. We had like a celebration at Nathan Phillips Square. And we had like, a good turnout, but we're expecting more people this year in 2018 to have more people, and so that the call to action could actually go even higher. Like, we had politicians that came in. So that was really great. Like, we planted the seed, but now we need that seed to start germinate.
Okay. Also, two things. Do me a favor. If you do anything today, okay, if you watch both of my shows, and at least one thing I want you to do is go to YouTube or go to Google and just type in sickle cell.
Yeah.
That's the challenge for you guys. That's for all my viewers. That's the challenge. YouTube or Google and just type in sickle cell, enter, and watch one video or read one article. That's what I want you to do today. That's your challenge for me, because I think if somebody just reads just the first paragraph, or they watch part of the video, because there's videos out there of young kids in the hospital, you in the hospital, and they can see the pain and what the doctors are doing, or someone just talking about it. So your challenge today for me is go and Google, YouTube, sickle cell. That's it, and see what you find out. Okay, also, we are having, you were saying about the pain. Talk about that real quick.
I think we were talking about things that we want to see. And for me, it would be treatment. Right now, my son goes, when he has a crisis, he goes to Sick Kids Hospital. They have a standard patient treatment protocol.
Right.
I would love to see that expand to hospitals across Ontario for adults, because until my son's 18, he's sheltered under this lovely sickle cell umbrella.
Right.
But once he becomes an adult and he has to go out there for treatment,
On his own?
he's on his own.
Right.
I went to a focus group at Taibu last year, and I watched a man speak about the treatment he got in the hospital as an adult. It was so bad that he literally took the IV out of his arm and left the hospital. His rationale is, I'd rather be at home and die with my loved ones than be in a hospital where I should be getting treatment and be treated like I'm a drug seeker, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So I would love to see that treatment protocol get standardized and put through all the hospitals, because I am fearful of what's going to happen for my child when he's, older.
Okay, look, and I'm happy to announce all this information you get to see, and Chelsea back there doing all her work.
Thanks, Chelsea.
She's putting the hashtag, and Chelsea's sick. That's why you're hearing all these sneezing and coughing back there. So also with the relief, we're looking for a chicken soup and some cookies for Chelsea, because without Chelsea, none of these shows would be putting off. So we want to make sure that Chelsea's all right. Also, for more information about all this stuff, we have a brand new website for CMJ Live. So that is cmjlive.com. So go to cmjlive.com, and all this information will be there. How to get to the walk, how to get to your YouTube videos, how to come to our dinner and dance, all right? We got 1 minute left, and you're on CMJ Live, so you get 30 seconds, and you get 30 seconds. This is your time to do your shout-outs. So shout out to all your loved ones, friends, and family. Go!
Before I do the shout out, I say we need to stop with the stigma of sickle cell, because a lot of people that have sickle cell are ashamed of talking about it, saying that they have it. You know, they'll say, like, you know, I went to an event recently, and then I was talking to different people, and then they say, like, you know, I said, do you know your status? Do you know sickle cell? I said, yeah, I got somebody in my family that has sickle cell. Like, she's always sick, but yeah, it's bad. But that's about it that they know.
They don't know if they have the trait or anything else.
Somebody in their family, they don't know if they have the trait. They don't know anything else, but they don't even know how the person is coping.
And they don't go to find out.
You know what I mean? So the stigma needs to stop. And the last thing I would say, we need allies. All oppressed people need help. It's a moral obligation. It's a moral obligation. Sorry. We need ally. All oppressed people need help. It's a moral obligation.
All right. 30 seconds. Do your shout out. Go, quick.
I also do not have any shout outs. What I do have is a call to action, because we need people. We need volunteers. We need people to help us get the work done to send these children to camp.
All right. Well, listen, if they don't do it, I'm going to do it, because we got to get out of here. So big shouts out to
my son,
Camp Jamoke. Big shouts out to Taibu. Big shouts out to everybody that is supporting us. Big shouts out to everybody that wants to get involved. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have
for
a great
having
weekend.
Us.
YouTube, Facebook, Google, Sickle Cell. See you guys later.
Bye.